I told you Nigeria does not run on power. It runs on irony. But you were doubting me. Let me clear your doubt. Explain to me why someone who was protesting for an increment in the salaries or maybe pension of retired police officers is currently still being held in detention by the Nigerian police force, allegedly for protesting unlawfully, allegedly for the police force, allegedly. So, wait, my own question is, for those of you who are currently holding him in detention right now, what will happen when you retire? So there have been news flying around about how the former presidential candidate for the 2023 general elections, Sowore, is currently still being held in attention for allegedly protesting unlawfully about for the increment or the increase in pay of the Nigerian police force that have retired. Until today, for over a month now, or close to a month, allegedly, he's still being held in detention, allegedly, for unlawfully protesting, allegedly. So, my question is, to you that is watching me now, what do you think? Do you think it is right to hold him captive, allegedly, against his own will? To you that is currently the police officer, what will happen when you retire? Don't you think it is you that he is fighting for? Allegedly. Now, that is a very sad story to tell. But trust me, joy is coming. No, yes, actually mean Nigerian musicians. But Asake, Wizkid, and Burna Boy just currently got featured in Ghana's album. It would have been a top 4 if Davido was there. And I mean, he was supposed to be there, allegedly. But he's currently touring the world, promoting his album everywhere across borders, flying his private jet, allegedly, right, around the world and all of that. But speaking of Nigerian musicians flying around the world and international stage, a popular Nigerian musician, actually one of the ultimate Nigerian musicians when it comes to Nigeria, wanted to board an airplane, but was allegedly caught with something that allegedly was alcohol, and you can't travel with alcohol on a plane. So he was told not to fly, but K1, being the ultimate person, wanted to show himself being an ultimate person and ultimately tried to stop the plane from moving.
Now, according to the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, a value jet flight preparing to depart for Lagos was disrupted after the musician reportedly attempted to board with a liquid substance, later confirmed to be alcohol, despite several warnings from security and the flight captain. Apparently, things escalated quickly, and Fan says that K1 refused to comply, even allegedly spilling the contents on a security officer. The pilot tried to intervene but was met with resistance, and the aircraft's door was closed, but the passenger refused to step away, eventually leading to his removal by security personnel.
Yes, K1 the ultimate tried to stop that plane from moving. I know you have seen people try to stop buses and cars from moving on Lagos streets, but no, K1 tried to stop a plane from moving. Think about it. And I think the pilot actually took no grief for anybody serious, because he saw K1 on the runway, allegedly, and still, decided to start the plane and move the plane and almost rammed into K1 the ultimate, allegedly. There are a lot of questions that comes to mind when you look at this thing. Was K1 supposed to be there at that time in that same space? What was in K1's bottle that made him withheld? Was the pilot supposed to actually be cleared to run on that runway? Was the pilot also holding something that can intoxicate him? Was the pilot angry? Who were the people at the communication tower that cleared that pilot? Who were the people on the runway that cleared the people at the communication tower to clear the people in the... A lot of questions! Now, I'm sure you're confused about K1 the Ultimate and the Value Jet pilot, and you're probably asking yourselves those many questions, even more than what I asked you. But I still have another question to ask you. So hold on, let me ask you. So let's say you have a choice to make. Would you rather go to school to be a doctor, or you would just play football and basketball? Hold on, let me tell you what has happened so that you can probably apply some context to it. So if you were to go to school and become a doctor, with what has happened currently, there has been information going about that the Lagos State University teaching hospital staff, doctors, those that went to school for 8 years to study medicine, right, have been owed salaries by the federal government for 12 months, allegedly, right? So if you were to become a doctor, you most likely will be owed 12 months salary, allegedly, by the federal government. So that is the scenario of the doctors currently on strike. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have the Super Falcons and the Tigresses, meaning the women who play football and basketball in Nigeria, who won their competition. And the federal government gave them $100,000 to each player, 3-bedroom apartments in Abuja, and the prestigious honor of the OON. Go and find out what it is. Not me that will tell you that one. And then you just begin to ask yourself, would I rather just play ball, basketball or football, or I will go 8 years to become a doctor? Which one will you pick? Pick wisely. Now, while you're making that life decision, either to be a doctor or to be a baller, so you can be a baller at the end of the day. But while you're making that decision on what career path to choose, you also need to make a decision and pick wisely on the right partner to choose. Because tell me why this person came out unprovoked, allegedly, to say how, he forgot his wife's birthday for 2 good years.
Yeah, I think this was the second year in our marriage. This was the second year in our marriage. And the first year in our marriage, on my birthday, I was pregnant. My first birthday. Yes, my first birthday as a married woman, I was pregnant.
Yeah, so we couldn't do anything.
So we really couldn't do anything much. But I'm a gifts person, so I'm big on gifts. So I really expected you to just like shower me with gifts that day, and just make it extra special. You did try, you made me breakfast that day, but you didn't give me a special gift. So that just felt some type of way. And I remember in the evening, we were like, let's just go by the store and buy something. And for you, also we're just getting married. So for you, going by the store to pick something for me that you would pay for was a nice gift. But for me, a good gift is a gift that is well thought out, where you've looked ahead of time, you've planned for it, you studied, what does my wife need? And what special thing can I give her this day to make her smile? Once I'm involved in the process, that was everything. Anyway, which I mentioned that year. So all this build-up is necessary to why it was very hard for me to forgive the second time. So my second birthday, I had already told myself that, because the first time you made a mistake and didn't give me like a great gift the way I wanted, and I thought I had communicated that to you. So my expectations for my second birthday was high. Like my expectations were really high. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for what you're going to dazzle me with. And we went on like a mini vacation with some of our friends to like a holiday resort. And my birthday was there. So I felt, all the better. Like it's like vacation and birthday. So I was just expecting a big gift. And then that morning of the birthday, I asked, where's my gift? I said, there's no gift, like the holiday is the gift. And I said, what do you mean the holiday is the gift? Are you not on the holiday as well? And bear in mind that our child was also on this holiday and they're also friends. Like, I was like, how is this a gift? So I felt really hurt by that, because I thought that by this point in our marriage, you would have understood how important gifts were to me on my birthday. So it was hard, because you know how you just feel like you've explained something to your spouse and they should understand this about you, but you realize that they don't, and you have to take out time to explain it again and forgive, So it was just hard, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that you did not plan something, and especially because if it was me, I would have planned something.
2 years. You were married for somebody for 2 years, and you forgot their birthday twice, 2 times in a row, and he had to get reminders just to remind him after the second year because he was like, oh, my wife is not that person that would give you silent treatment or that would do this or that would do that just because he didn't celebrate her birthday. But when he saw that she was not looking her normal self, that he asked her what happened, and then she told him that she just felt unloved, and then that unloved was what hit him hard. Egbon, they should use plank to hit you hard. Sorry, I was not meant to say that, right? I was not meant to say that. It hurt me deep because I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and like 2 years is a lot. It's a lot. And just to make things worse, you know that her love language is giving gifts, and she has repeatedly not just told you, but she has shown you time and time again on your birthdays, on Valentine's Day, on Father's Day, on everything day, and you still forgot. Allegedly. Now, speaking of Father's Day, that person is a father, and he also came out to say on YouTube, there is video evidence to this. I did not say it. I'm currently shaking now. Oh my God. He allegedly said that he slept with her, or they had what married people usually have, 2 weeks after giving birth.
After I had the baby, they started asking for sexual things. Mentally, I wasn't there. I could not even conceive it or understand it. How can you be thinking about sex at this point in time? I was just thinking about how to be alive and how to ensure that our child was fed. When the time now finally came for us to have sex, after having our first daughter, it was too painful, so we stopped.
It was very tough for me to listen to the
So I said, the second time, I don't want to disappoint you again, so I'm just going to endure through it. Even though I was feeling discomfort and feeling pain, I didn't say anything. Tears literally dropped from my eyes. So I was like, oh.
2 weeks after giving birth. Like 2 weeks after the whole labor, some labors that go for 12 hours, 8 hours, some 24 hours. And he had sex 2 weeks after labor. Now, there are a lot of questions that there are a lot of questions that come to mind when you think about this. And trust me, it is worse. In fact, this is more ultimate than K1. Because you begin to ask yourself, how can you even comprehend this? Is this even medically sound? Is this medically all right? But then if you want to ask medically and then you try to go to the people in Latin to ask them, they are not doctors. Everything is just, everybody's just, This is just what has happened in the past few weeks. Now imagine what is going to happen in the coming weeks. Just imagine. But just know that whatever happens next week, trust me, I will be there. And I will always do a recap, and I will always bring things to your face. But there are a lot of questions that you need to ask yourself about what has happened over the course of the week. The most important question, would you rather play ball and be a baller? Or you go to school, become a doctor, and then be owed 12 months salary, allegedly? Or would you fight for the rights of people and then be detained by those people because you fought for their rights? Allegedly. I mean, there are a lot of questions to ask. But if you ask me, I have no comments.